I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-Minute Convos, where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Cheryl Carter. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I am doing really well. I got a quiet house and I'm doing really well.
That's great to hear. That's really great to hear. What part of the world are you in right now?
I am in Long Island, New York, right outside New York City.
Oh, that's wonderful. And which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time?
My ability to inspire people to inspire the next generation.
That
Long
sounds like fun.
afterwards. It is.
How are you doing that?
I have a company, Treasured Legacy, and I help people write their life story. Not just elderly people, but baby boomers and young people to write their life story and to discuss the contributions they're making and passing that story on to the next generation.
Intriguing. Wow. So where did you come up with that idea from?
Well, I've been writing. I've written over 30 books, and I've been in writing for years. I teach at the college level, and I teach writing. And one of the things that used to bother me with writing at a certain point, it was very commercial, and I really want to help people write to make a difference. And last year, my mom, I lost my mom. She was in hospice, and in her final 8 months that I was there taking care of her, I really took care of her physical needs. But what I realized is, and I prayed for her, so it somewhat took care of her spiritual needs, but not fully, because there was so much when she died that I wished I would have asked her. So many things about her I wished I had known. And I realized as I spoke to other people that they had that same issue. And so I really wanted to help people to leave something behind to the next generation, to write a book that may not go out and mass produce commercially, but will mean something to the people that they're called to touch.
Hmm. That is a great idea. What has been the feedback from that?
Oh, I've gotten a lot of feedback because it was interesting when I first started it. Most people, you would think that most people would think it was somewhat morbid, but there's a lot of people that really resonate with the idea. And one of the things I always say is, if you want to live forever, make a difference and then inspire others to make a difference.
Hmm.
And so I really long to help people to connect with those things that they do to make a difference, and to inspire others to go forth and to do the same thing. And we see that in the Bible. King David was given the instructions to build the temple, but actually he never did it. His son Solomon did it.
Yeah.
And so I think as parents, it's very important for us to inspire the next generation. And those your listeners, some may be saying, well, I don't have any children, but we all have a segment of a population that we should inspire. The Bible talks about King David serving his generation, and then he went to sleep with his fathers. We all are called to make a difference and to serve our generation. And in doing that, we'll make a difference. And that's what I really want to do. I started Life Story, like the Life Story, I call it Legacy Life Story Books, to give people to write about the things that they're doing to make a difference. And then it's another element I have of it. And some of your listeners may have heard, ethical will. I always tell people it's more important that you leave your values than your valuables, because people are always going to fight over things. But when on your deathbed, you're not concerned about how many shoes you had in your closet. You want to know that you leave the most important essence of who you are. What's most important to you? Did you leave it to the next generation so that they could take it and run with it?
I definitely love that. Very good idea, my friend. In fact, great idea. I love the fact that you're implementing it as well, that it isn't just an idea, but it's something that is going on. That being said, where can people connect with you to find out more of how they can get you to do that just for them?
At themeaningfulmoment.com. And my business is Legacy Treasures at themeaningfulmoment.com, because I want to help people. And I specifically named it The Meaningful Moment. I want to help people to reconnect and to recapture the meaningful moments of their life.
Well done. Well, Cheryl, please tell us one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
I've helped people reach into themselves and become better people. And I'm not perfect. Believe me, I make a lot of mistakes. But I think in the brokenness of all of us if we help one another be stronger and build one another up. So I've helped people be strong. And yes, I've helped people write books. I've helped business people write books. As I said before, I've taught college, and so I've helped young people write. But the single ingredient that I always was reaching out is always reaching out to help people.
Tell us about the books you wrote.
I did many books. One of my parenting books, one of the first books that I did, was Chasing God and the Kids Too. And it was written because I was so frustrated as a young mother that I wanted to grow spiritually, but I felt I was always doing dishes or changing diapers. And so that was one of the books that I did. Just I try to bring practicality to everything that I do. I always say that my motto for life is always to live very practical, but to live in the eternal when I'm living in very practical. Recently, the Meaningful Moment, we have a lot of journals that we've done because I look at the world and so many things are going on. I just want people to recapture the meaningful moments of their life. And so I've done even books for adults to go back. If anybody's thinking about New Year's resolutions, to go and get the meaningful moment. If you just look on any bookstore, the meaningful moment, our New Year's journal we have. We have for adults to even sit and look at their lives, our birthday journals. Because when little kids, we all celebrate our birthday, but as adults, it's a good time to reflect and look back on the meaningful moments of our lives. And so those are just a few of the books. I've actually written quite a bit. And of course, I've written books on the writing process as well.
Yeah, I think I saw like about 30 books under your name.
Yes, there is. Yeah, there are.
Like there was a whole profile when you search your name on Google on the right-hand side with a ton of books. That's pretty amazing. So yeah, if I needed to get someone to write my parents' story, I would want someone who has written and completed more than one book. So I'm glad that you have that portfolio of books as well. Why would you suggest to someone that's listening, Cheryl, that they do what you've done by connecting with the passion you have for sharing stories, and that they do that, especially for those who have connected with their passion?
One of the things I said before, like I strongly believe everybody, we all want to live forever. It's a funny kind of thing. We all want to live forever. And I go back to if you just find what you're most passionate about, if it's writing, then find a mentor, somebody who's going to help you. And oftentimes, you know what? There's people there, and sometimes we just think they're going to say no. So we don't think to approach them. And I've had people say to me, "Oh, well, I think you're so busy. I didn't think you want to help somebody like that." I returned somebody's phone call one time, and they said, "Oh, I thought you were so busy you wouldn't be able to answer my question." So I would say to people to really prayerfully reach out there, because there's people out there who want to help you. And sometimes we build our own roadblocks that we think that they're going to say no, and we don't even step out. You got to step out on the water. Even Peter stepped out on the water. He took a few steps, but he at least got out of the boat. So hope I'm answering the question.
Yeah. I think you definitely answered the question. Cheryl is excited, folks. I can tell you that. She was like, "Yes, I'm excited to be on this podcast." I'm glad that we're here. That's great. Well, Cheryl, hey, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Mm-hmm. Cheryl, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory is a little bit bizarre, but it was when I was about 3 or 4 that I remember. And my father came in my bedroom. My brother and my sister, who are older than me, not by much, with stair steps. He had a stuffed animal, and it looked like a real raccoon. And he put it on the floor, and we ran and we all screamed. And when I realized that it wasn't real, I walked over to it and began to pet it. And actually, I started playing with it, and it became one of my favorite toys. So that's my earliest memory. So as bizarre as it seems, that was just my earliest memory from childhood.
Yeah. So how old were you?
I was about 3 or 4.
Why do you think this memory is so clear?
I think because of the mixed emotions of it, because I remember being very fearful, but then after I got over the fear, me approaching it. And I also think my relationship with my father resonates in it, because I'm very close to my father. And so at a certain point, I figured my father would not do anything to harm me or hurt me. So I think it was just a mixed emotion of it all, because that is the earliest memory that I have.
Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Sure.
I love the idea that your father communicated a story without words. It's fascinating. Like he didn't like he didn't say you should not be afraid of this. He did show you that you should be confident in who he is and that he would not cause harm. And I think it's really fascinating now that there is the story, then you can build on that, right? But the story wasn't created like, I'm going to create a story here where I'm going to put this here and explain to her that it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what you're unveiling by communicating others and their stories and the values that they want to share will then open another world for others to understand what was the purpose of why they did what they did, which is fascinating.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's good. Wow.
Yeah. It's amazing how it connects, right?
Yeah, really.
If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
Probably Michael Jackson, Dancing Machine.
Yeah. Were you a dancing machine?
No, I was probably the square kid that no one really wanted to talk to. I was square, thick glasses, and yeah, I was the square kid. But I always liked people. I was not so much of a wallflower where I didn't like people. I always liked people.
Yeah.
Even as a child, I would still kind of venture out, though I was shy, to be in groups with a lot of different people and from a lot of different ethnic groups. And so I never was really off by myself just because I was shy.
Yeah. It's just like your interaction with the raccoon, right?
Yes.
Like you still ventured out, right? You still ventured out. All right, my friend. Well, we have arrived at our destination, Cheryl. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Cheryl?
Yes, I am.
Cheryl, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes, I have.
Are you married?
Yes, 31 wonderful years.
Wow, congratulations. Wow. Do you have children?
Yes, I have 5.
Wow.
Yeah, and I always talk, they range from age 7 to 27. So I have 7-year-old twins, and then I have a 27-year-old. And yes, we have been married. They were all my husband. We've been married for 31 years, and they were all our kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you believe in God?
Oh yes, definitely. And I have a personal relationship with him.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes, most definitely.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
No, unfortunately, no.
What about screen time? The phone and the computer, is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
I'm probably on the phone with clients probably about 3 hours a day, so quite a while. My phone time is a lot, but it's usually because I'm with clients.
All right. Cheryl, after 1,001 conversations in 3 months in 2016, I came up with a workbook. The name of it is called Yours. It stands for Your Own Unique Real Self. And the idea is you answer questions that unveil through self-discovery. Questions like these: your own unique real statement, your mission, if you would. Cheryl, if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, what would you say that is?
People live forever through their words by inspiring others to also go out and live forever.
Love it.
Because they make a difference in their life.
Love it. Cheryl, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I want to share with people just that God is real and he wants to work in our lives individually. Sometimes we see him as a big global mass, and you can make a difference. And even the most minute things that you're thinking, I really don't make a difference, you can and do make a difference. Even the mom who's at home with her kids and feels like she's always going to be stuck there, that she's not making a difference, she's making a difference. No matter where you are in the world, you make a difference. And you just making a difference, you inspire others to make a difference when you go and do what you were created to do.
Cheryl Carter, my friend, I'll say one more time, thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.